it's also brew day. Over here we've got my Arrogant Bastard clone brewing, and it's making the backyard smell really good. It's going to smell even better in a little bit when we get this leg of lamb moving along. So here we go. We've got a big piece. What I'm going to do is, until my camera helper gets back, I'm going to go ahead and move that camera in, and so you guys get a closer look at it. Alright, first what we're going to do is give this lamb a rub. You can see this is a pretty good size lamb. It has been butterflied, bone removed. So what we're going to do is give it a little bit of a rub, and our rub's going to consist of some a little bit of garlic, some coarse sea salt, a little pink Himalayan salt in there as well, some coarse ground pepper, and over here fresh rosemary, parsley, and some thyme. So let's go ahead. We're going to take all that fresh rosemary, put it in there, about half of the other spices, herbs I should say. There we go. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Okay, now I'm also gonna, let's get this out of the way. Before we mix that up, we're going to take some grapeseed oil and brush this guy down pretty liberally. This is really going to let the spices and the herbs stick. Get a little moisture in there. Grapeseed oil can also handle the heat a little bit better, although this is going to be cooked low and slow, so we don't have that much to worry about in that regard. I'm just going to dump it here. There we go. Get that all in there. Spread it around good. Okay, now take that herb mixture, mix it up a bit, smash that garlic in there. Rosemary is really going to come through well with the lamb. Lamb's going to take these flavors real good. Let's go ahead and sprinkle this on. Give it a good rubbing. Okay, let's flip this bad boy over. There we go. Put them all in there. Nooks and crannies. Look at that. Let's add some olive oil in here first. There we go. Look at that. We're going to go ahead and let this sit for a couple hours before, there we go, before we get it on the smoker. A little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt, get some more of that herb in there. Now I'm going to grab a little bit more from over here. Excellent. Okay. Looking good. Now, a little bit more in here. I'm a little rushed because the timer for the beer is going to be going off pretty soon, so I want to get this ready. Alright, what I'm going to do now is, so this doesn't all unfold on the smoker, I'm going to wrap this with some butcher twine and see what happens. We'll be right back. Okay, we're all wrapped up. The rub is looking really good. This is how we'll be going on the smoker. We're going to go ahead and let this sit for about an hour or two, let all those flavors kind of meld together, let the oil do its thing, let the herbs do their thing. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up this mess, and then we're going to make a rub for this leg while it's on the smoker. Speaking of the smoker, I'm going to get that fire ready pretty soon, and over there we are brewing Drunken Sailor's Drunken Bastard. That's a Arrogant Bastard clone that I came up with. Stay tuned for that video coming out pretty soon. But we don't want to get distracted, so let me get the fire going. Let me get this mess cleaned up. I'll try to shoot that crow that's going gawking in the background, and we'll be back in just a few. The fire is moving along. Before we throw the lamb on the fire, we're going to get our baste ready. And the baste is pretty much going to be what our rub was for the most part. And we're going to start over here. This is some of the dried rosemary, parsley and thyme, a little minced garlic, some salt and pepper. Over here is the rest of the grapeseed oil. I've added about another half a cup of olive oil to it, and over here we've got about 2/3 of a cup of red wine vinegar. So it's going to be about it's like an olive oil, or I'm sorry, oil and vinegar based actually. So let's start with the vinegar to the oil. Go ahead and mix that in. I've got a couple of cloves of garlic. I'm just going to throw them in the bottom. Okay. To that we'll add a big fat pinch of coarse black pepper, maybe 2 pinches, and a pinch of sea salt, maybe 2 of that one as well. The minced garlic, and then what's left over of our herbs. So throw those all in there. Okay. Do that, we'll go ahead and mix that up. And what we'll do, we're gonna let this sit for a little bit while the lamb is cooking away. Let the herbs constitute into the liquid. Let them get all nice and moist and all that kind of stuff. And while that happens, we're going to go and start doing our Tzatziki sauce, which will be very nice as well. So the smoker is ready. We're getting ready to throw the lamb on. We're sitting at about 250 degrees, which is right about where we want to be. And let's see what we're looking like. What I'm going to do here is the lamb is going to benefit more from the softer woods as opposed to your hickory or oak. So what I'm doing is going with about half and half apple and cherry fire. There we go. Let's set this down, situate that. Well, this is going to be good. So there she is, the smoked leg of lamb. I'm going to go ahead and put the temperature probe in there. We're going to go about to 140, 145 degrees. That'll put us at medium. We really don't want to go any further than that with lamb. It is pretty delicate. So let's close this up. We'll get ready. I'm going to make a Tzatziki sauce and a little bit of salsa to go along with this, as well as some toasted pita points. So let's see where that takes us. So I've given this lamb one basting. It's been about another hour or so. Let's take a look at it and give it another basting. It's looking pretty, boy, that smells good. Definitely smell that rosemary coming out at you again. Here we are, just giving this a nice baste. Let that oil do its work. Those herbs. The fire temperature here, or the pit temperature, is right around 250 degrees. That's about where we want it. We're shooting for, once again, about 140 to 145. And the probe right now is looking at about 110. So it's getting there. There we go. Look at that. Boy, does that look good. So let's sit back. Let's do its thing and be right back. Alright, so can't have lamb without a good Tzatziki sauce. And that's exactly what we're going to make right now. It's really easy to make. It's just Greek yogurt, cucumber, mint, salt, and garlic, and then a little olive oil and vinegar. The key, though, if you come on over here, Jess, take a look. What I've done is this is about a pound, 16 ounces, 18 ounces of plain Greek yogurt. I've had it in paper towel like this to wick out any of the moisture. It takes about 2 hours to do this, but it's key because you don't want that sauce to be runny. So let's go, when we're all done now, I flipped it a couple times, you can kind of see the paper towel marks on there, but let's go ahead and get that in there. You can see all the moisture that's come off onto the towel here. There we go. Okay, now the key ingredient is the cucumbers. We want to get the moisture out of these cucumbers as well. So what I've got here is a mesh bag, If you don't have one of these, you can use paper towels. It works just as well. We're going to scoop these. You know what? I got an idea. We're going to scoop these cucumbers into the bag. Like so. There we go. We want to get the water out of these cucumbers. So in order to do that, we're going to take this bag. Yes, Jess? Alright. Let's give it a squeeze. Squeeze all that water out of those cucumbers. That should about do it. And one more time. There we go. Oh yeah. We want to get these things dry. The cucumber has been peeled and de-seeded. So you just got the meat of the cucumber. And this was one big, good-sized cucumber. So here we got the cucumber. We've got Greek yogurt. We got a couple of cloves of minced garlic. Throw them in there. I'm gonna do got about 5 or 6 mint leaves, fresh mint. We've got this growing in the backyard. If you're growing mint, you'll know that it's once you plant it, it's just impossible to get rid of. It grows like a weed, but it's nice to have. So fresh mint, 5 or 6 leaves, and a nice pinch of salt. Coarse ground sea salt we got there. To all this, 2 teaspoons of red wine vinegar. 1, 2. I'm actually going to do a little bit more because it's a little bit more than 16 ounces. And to that, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and a little bit more. And that's about all you got here. We'll get the little extra cucumber in there. Give this a good stirring. And we'll be putting this on the lamb. This will set nicely, and once you cover it, keep it in the fridge. It's good for a week or 2. After that, you're going to be pretty much done with it. But this is some really good stuff. I love this sauce for lamb. It's absolutely delicious. You can use it for a dipping sauce too as well. So there we go. You can see consistency. If you get this in a restaurant, you might the cucumbers might be chopped up more finely. I kind of like it with a little bit bigger chunks of cucumbers. I like it. It tastes good that way. So okay, we're gonna go ahead and put this in the fridge. Let it sit for a while. The lamb is at 126 degrees, so got about 15 degrees to go before we pull that off the smoker. So I think I'm going to add some wood to the smoker and put this in the fridge. We'll be right back, and we'll be making some salsa. See you soon. We're just about done. We're going to give this one more basting and then add my secret ingredient to the fire, which I'll show you about in just a sec. Come on over here, Jess. Let's take a look at this thing. We're looking at an internal temp of about 138, which is just about done. And that looks delicious. We're going to give this, like I said, one more basting. Just a quick baste. Once again, we have that the red wine vinegar and the olive oil and the herbs and such. This is looking really, really good. Fire's dropped a little bit, down to about 230, 225. That's okay, because we're just about done anyways. Okay, now that's all set. Now what I've done here is, with all that fresh rosemary I've been using today, took all the sprigs and been soaking them in water. We're going to throw this on the fire. So that last bit of smoke that we get out of this fire is going to come from this rosemary. It's going to add a whole other flavor and dimension to it. And there she goes. So we'll let that cook. We only got just a couple of minutes left. And we'll be back and it's eating time. One other note on a side dish here is the salsa. I figured I'd spare you guys the torture of watching me cut up a bunch of vegetables and such, but I did want to make it a point to point this stuff out. It's just tomatoes, onions, green peppers, about half a lemon squeezed in there, some that grapeseed oil, and a little bit of a jalapeno, and and a little red wine vinegar too. Stirred it all up and it's going to go real nicely on the side. Alright, I think we're just about done. The probe is beeping away, telling me the internal temp's at about 140. We're going to double check it with our other instant read. It's always a good idea to have multiple thermometers just to verify. You can see I threw some pita bread down here. We're toasting that up. Can't have lamb without some pita bread. And yeah, we're sitting right around 140 there. Very nice. We'll check one more spot. Yeah, and the slightly thinner side of the roast is a little over 140, so we are good to go. We're going to pull this off and tent it. While it's tented, we'll get another 5 degrees out of it or so. And that's right where we're going to be wanting to sit, so let's go ahead and see how this works. That's not going to work. Good job, Jess. Bam! Now that's what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and tent this thing up. We're going to let it rest for a good 20 minutes. And it'll be cutting time, so we'll see you soon. Alright, here we are, the moment of truth. Drunken Sailor's smoked leg of lamb. Give this a couple of cuts. It's rested now for about 20 minutes or so. Oh wow. Oh, does that look good. Beautiful smoke ring. Juicy as can be. Give this one more cut here. Look at that. And that looks like about a perfect medium. And let's go ahead and try a piece. Oh yeah! Gotta have an amen from the congregation. That is some good stuff. Look at this. Alright, tell you what. We're going to go ahead and plate this up. Man, that is good. And I guess that's about it. So, if you like it, and come back for more. We'll see you again soon. Drunken Sailor signing off. See ya. Amen.